here is the welding ship. I think it turned out pretty good. So that's how much we drilled out, and we filled that elite storage container. Yes, awesome. We've got fuel. We've got no way to transport it, but we've got fuel. Welcome back, guys. So I'm just over at the ice mine trying to work out all the kinks. I think I've got it all sorted out now. Only time will tell, I guess. But yeah, that's the ice mine. All right, let's go have a look at the to-do list. So we have done the ice mine. I've also done this. In between episodes, I added some vents to the Dildozer. And I did it off camera because I wanted to spend a little bit of time and sort of set up a like an airlock system. So I ended up adding a couple of oxygen tanks in here, just in case we don't have ice on board. I want to make sure that we have actual oxygen. They're buried in there somewhere. They're just two small tanks. They're not elite versions or anything, just regular tanks. And what I've done is I've added a couple of buttons here to the doors, and we can depressurize that space in there. So we'll, you know, try to save as much as we can. And then, yeah, after it finishes depressurizing, it opens the doors. And then I have a sensor to close the doors and repressurize the area. And if we want to leave, we can just press this one. It will depressurize and then open the doors. Now it opens all of the doors, and the doors won't actually they won't actually close until you walk through them. So yeah, we've got a sensor above each door. Same with, oh no, I didn't do these ones down here, because these ones actually have a separate door leading outside. So as long as they're shut, we've got just like an airlock here. So there's no point adding a sensor to that. I'll just manually close them, that's fine. So yeah, I sorted that out, and I took another blueprint. So I think the Dildozer is good to go now. But what we're going to do today is work on the iron mine, because the iron is just yeah, it's a real worry at the moment. So I cleaned up all of our GPS markers as well, so we don't have all of those in our way. I also found a deposit for cobalt and magnesium that are really close by, but they are quite a little bit lower than these basic ones. Oops, that's going to cost me. I should be right. I actually have no idea how big the radius of the warhead is going to be. I think that's far enough away. I don't know how big this radius is. Is that? Yeah, surely that's far enough away. Oh God, I hope it is. Alright. I think I'm going to do a timer. I think I'm just going to start the timer and fly away. Because I don't have a gun to shoot it with. Nice, okay. So now we have a measurement. I would actually like to know how deep it blasts down as well. What the? Oh, I don't think that's for us. I think that's for that transport. Wanna watch a fight? Actually, that Reaver's been there for a long time. I wonder if that guy's stuck. Are you stuck on some trees, mate?
I'm just waiting for a mate.
Oh, no, there he goes. He's off. Oh, Jesus. Well, I don't think he's ever going to catch up to that guy. I think that's as close as I'm going to get it. So the idea is we need to have some sort of a structure that drops a warhead right on this point here. Now this is not always going to be on a flat ice lake. The idea is I want to take a blueprint of this and be able to place it anywhere. So even if we have like hilly rocks and stuff like that, we want to be able to build this structure on it, which means it needs to be up on stilts. So then that way, if it's uneven terrain, at least some of the stilts will be poking into the ground. So similar to the way we did the other one, I think we'll go with a similar style. So I think it would be a good idea to process the ore here and then just transport the ingots. And we're back. The mine's pretty much done. I think that there's a couple other things we could do to it, but it is functional at this point. So the next step is we really need new drones. We actually need three drones, because we need a new miner, we need a refueling drone, and we need a hauling drone. And yeah, this thing isn't going to be functional unless we have all three of those. So now I have to design 3 drones in order to complete this. But if we, yeah, I'll just give you a little tour. I tried out these heat vent blocks, which apparently change, like these little louvers open up and emit like a light depending on how much power is being used by the facility. All right, so we got 4 elite H2 engines, which should be enough to run these elite refineries. I do have a couple of modules on them. We've got there's two yield modules and 2 power efficiency modules, because I wanted to be, seeing as this is iron, we don't need all 4 yield modules, because that's all we're going to be processing here. Yeah, so, okay, so we go up these stairs here. And I got little exhaust pipes as well that emit smoke. I thought that was neat. Makes it look like, you know, the place is actually, I don't know, functioning or on fire. One of those two. And then this is the control room. We get a really good view right down into the pit and of the 2 docking ports for the drones. I really feel like I've forgotten something important in this base. I'm not sure why, but that's the feeling I'm getting. All right, let's get to work, I guess. So first up is going to be the refueling drone. I think we're going to go with just 1 hydrogen tank, or maybe an elite one. I just want to see how much fuel this thing can hold. 1.28 million liters. Yep, I think that's the way to go. Seeing as the drone is going to be carrying hydrogen anyway, makes sense to make it a hydrogen-based vehicle. So we'll go hydrogen thrusters and a hydrogen engine as well for power. We won't need a great deal of power. We're not using any atmospheric thrusters, and I'm going to try to make this as small as possible. Okay, so I'm having a hard time contemplating how this is going to work, because essentially we're transporting this fuel, right? Now, Pam has like a built-in system where it makes sure it has enough fuel to do the job. And if it doesn't, it, refuels. But what I'm worried about is the fact that I can't really tell this thing to, put 80% of its fuel where it's going and keep 20% for itself so it can get back. So I'm thinking maybe I should have a small hydrogen tank that doesn't get transferred at all. It is just a fuel supply for the ship itself. And then that way we can just empty this thing completely. Okay, so the idea is these two tanks are strictly for the fuel that the drone is going to use to get to and from. This tank is its cargo, essentially. All right, let's go, I guess. Take this over to the ice mine and get it all set up so it can transfer fuel to the iron mine. Timmy, you need a gyro, mate. Am I sliding off this thing? Oh god, this is bloody scary as. God, it has so much acceleration. Alright, I think we're gonna park in Bay 4. Seems like the most logical choice. We are actually gonna need a sensor for this docking bay so we can set up the exclusive zone. Okay, so we're gonna need a PAM controller on the base, I think. Okay. Before we do this, let's take a blueprint of it. Okay, we got a copy of that. We need an antenna on this base. Otherwise, this is not going to work. I really want to build an antenna dish and have it rotating on a piston, on a rotor. I think that would be pretty cool. There we go. That looks pretty good. It's nothing fancy, but it's better than just having a static antenna. Oh my god, these frames. Oh god, I really need a new PC. Alright, so I've set that guy to 2 kilometers, same with the drone. So, as long as Reavers don't spawn within 2 kilometers of us, or Reavers don't get within 2 kilometers of us, we should be safe from Reaver attacks. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. So we've got the refueling drone. All right, let's see if we can set up this shuttle job, if I remember how to do it. I vaguely remember having quite a bit of trouble setting this up in the Dick expansion series. All right, so we want to record path and set home, but realistically We don't need to record a path, do we? Actually, no, we do, yeah. Alright, so let's do that. Let's disconnect. Okay, so this guy is ready to go. He's literally just waiting for the undock command. So I think we need a... We're going to need an antenna on the iron mine so we can send a command to this outpost. Alright, back over to the iron mine. We're going to set up the antenna and a communication script. Alright, so we've got auto LCDs, we've got Izzy, which we might be taking off. We've got a spare one, and we've got PAM controller for the drones. We won't need the exclusive zone on this one though, because they'll have their own paths and channels. Okay, so we've got one spare one, which we're going to use. I think we've got some sort of a transmitter script. Okay, it looks like Whip has one called Shart. So this one acts like we can, it looks like we can set it up as like one as a sender, one as a receiver. And I think that would work in this circumstance, because the ore mine is only ever going to be a sender, and the ice mine is only ever going to be the receiver. But I'm pretty sure I've got a couple of other scripts in here that do something similar. Yeah, I've got universal remote. Okay, this one is a little bit more confusing, but I think it gives you more options on what you can do. So instead of running a timer block, we could actually specifically run the undock command on the programmable block itself without having a timer block. And it looks like it
Today, Junior?
acts as a network. This would be like a two-way street, so they can both communicate with each other. So it gives you a little bit more options for what you can do, but I don't know, it looks very complex, and for what we need, I think Whip's one is going to handle it, and it's going to be easier to set up. We just need a timer block to run the command, that's all. We're going to need more timer blocks. Maybe I should spend the extra time and set up the universal remote. Yeah, screw it. I'm gonna screw around with this and see if I can get it to work. I'll be back. I think I've got the refueling system working. All right. It took a little bit of trial and error. I've got a hydrogen tank down there in the line. Ignore that one there. That's a temporary one that I'm gonna use to showcase it. Right now it's full. So the drone has actually stopped ferrying fuel over. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that hydrogen tank on stockpile, and it's going to draw all of that hydrogen out to symbolize that, you know, we're running out of fuel. And it should start the refueling process. So I'm just going to turn that on. It's draining all the hydrogen out. When it gets down to 20%, we're going to see this drone take off from the ice mine and head on over. There we go. Now I've got a little sensor set up. So once it docks, it switches that hydrogen tank to stockpile, which draws all the hydrogen out of this guy. And then when the drone gets low on hydrogen, it takes off and goes back and gets some more. There we go. Once this tank gets to 95%, it'll send a command to the ice mine, telling it that it doesn't need any more fuel, and the ice mine will actually send a message to the drone to tell it to pause its job. So if we check out, oh Jesus, if we check out the script, you can see up the top there, job paused. And it'll stay like that until the ore mine actually needs some fuel. Now there is one issue I can see with this method. Let me just turn this off, and I'll take this off the HUD as well so we don't see that. Okay, so the issue I can see is that this ice mine is going to run out of fuel at some point. At some point in the future, we are going to mine all of the ice out of this hole and convert it all to hydrogen, and we're going to run out of hydrogen. And when that happens, this guy will try to take off no matter what. Like if the ore mine requests fuel, this guy will try to take off regardless of if he has hydrogen or not. So I need to come up with some sort of a failsafe that will stop him from taking off if there's no hydrogen. Can we set this up so it won't take off unless it's full? Okay, so I've just got, rather than doing the undock, like wait for the undock command, I've just got on a time delay. So it'll wait for 3 seconds, which is enough time to fill it with full of hydrogen, and then it'll go, and it'll keep doing that until it gets a signal to pause the job. But what I want to do is try to make it so I need like an AND gate. So it'll wait the 3 seconds and it'll wait for hydrogen to be 100%. Or could we just do that? Could we just do 100%? Hydrogen. Yeah, hydrogen full. Let's do that. That's perfect. That way, if we don't get a full tank, it won't move. Alright, so we're gonna start that job. And then I'm actually going to... I'm gonna run a command in here, just saying home position, which is gonna pause it. So that, essentially that's the command I run to this guy. Wait, am I on the back of this thing? Holy shit. Alright, so I am really happy with this. This is really cool. This is basically fully automated. And we can do this for all of the ore mines. And we can do it for our base as well. Like I'm going to set up another drone for our base. It's going to just run the same thing. Yeah, this is really cool. The only part that's not automated is eventually this is going to run out. Like this isn't infinite. So we will need to have some sort of a changeover. But yeah, for the most part, this is, yeah, it's really cool. I'm really liking this. Okay, next, so we've got the fuel sorted out. We still need to create the mining drones so they can actually go and mine. I do need to actually drop a few warheads so we can get down to the iron as well. So I might do that first. we'll get enough materials for 5, I think. Did I leave any materials on here? No, nothing. I think we needed 5 warheads to get down to the iron, and then we'll design some new mining drones. That way we can set them up, and that's going to be easy. Like we've set up mining drones before, and while they're mining, we can design a hauler as well, which will take the ingots over to our base. So, yeah, all right, let's do it. All right, I've got the mining drone, I guess prototyped, we'll say. All the functional pieces are there, but it's very much just a bare bones ship at the moment. Okay, so that is all set up. I have set up the projector for the warheads, and I've set up the timer blocks to do it all. I've got the materials. We are ready to drop some warheads, so we'll do that. Then we'll get our drone to start mining, I guess. And then with that first little bit of iron we get, we'll be able to make either another drone, or we'll be able to make the hauler drone. Yeah, I don't know. We'll slowly get back into business, because right now we're at a standstill with no iron. Alright, I've got the extra materials we need to make that frame. We're ready to try this. Hopefully the welder gets it. Oh, nice. And we could probably shave a couple of seconds off that. Beautiful. So it took a little bit of a setup, but this is now working. And also that first bomb we did blew out all my lights and reinforcements along the ring. Luckily I've got a blueprint of it though, so I can just put that down and weld it all up. But it can wait for now. Like we don't have the iron to do that. Alright, let's send another one. There it is. We've got iron. Okay, so we got elite drills on there now. They are nowhere near as big as I thought they were going to be, which is why I was trying to avoid them. They actually, yeah, they actually seem pretty reasonable for like the top tier drill. You're still active. Oh, you've still got iron on you. Oh, there he goes. Holy shit. We're gonna lose so many of these fuckers. Oh, it's gonna be glorious. We'll just come back to the mine and there'll just be a wreckage of our drones in there. Alright, how are we going on hydrogen? Oh, Jesus Christ. I tell you what, I love this new color scheme I have, but my God, does it make the text hard to read. It's not too bad if I've got a, like if I'm using the regular LCD screens and they've got the black background. But yeah, doing something like this where you got to see through it, Jesus Christ, it's difficult to read. So we're at 35%. is that guy going to be able to keep up with 2 mining ships that are using hydrogen for both their thrust and their power? And then we've got an entire base with elite fucking refineries. Although granted, I did put 2 power efficiency modules on here, so that they don't use anywhere near as much power as they could. Yeah, I'm not sure if this guy would be able to keep up. Pretty sure we're going to see that guy take off in a minute. Yep, here he comes. I'm so excited about this. This is so cool. We've got drones automatically mining. Drones automatically refueling the... Oh, Jesus, don't hit me. Refueling the station. Now I know I need to dress up the drones, okay? So don't just take their looks with a pinch of salt at the moment. This was just to prototype the actual system to make sure we could get it working. Once we know for sure that the entire system works, then I'll spend some time prettying up the drones, and I'll take new blueprints of them, etc. Because we can literally just put down a blueprint of the ore mining facility, print off, you know, all the drones we need, and then just fly them over, set up their jobs, and away we go. We've got another outpost. Granted, we're probably not going to need another one of these for a while. Iron was the main issue here. Silicon, honestly, I don't know if we're going to need silicon through this entire playthrough. I don't know how, but we have 2.6 million silicon. Nickel is, you know, pretty damn strong at 664,000. Definitely don't need cobalt. 213,000 is going to last us a while. And magnesium, I'm not doing anything with combat at the moment. Like, I'm more interested in the industrial side at the moment. So yeah, we have no use for magnesium. And we're back. I've got the hauling drone set up. I'm not 100% happy with it, but it does work. So I think I'll use this to get a load of iron over here so we can, you know, we have a little bit more freedom with, you know, what we can build. And then I think I'm gonna rebuild this with the hauling drones. I think we should have them controlled by this PAM on the base, so they'll be docked here, and then we only send them out when we need a certain resource. So we would have like an iron hauling drone that goes to the iron mine and comes back, and then we could have one set up for silicon and nickel. So we'd have this bay of hauling drones that go out to all the different outposts and collect the resources that we need, and they only go out when we actually need the resource. I think that would be the best way to do it, rather than having it stored on the actual iron mine and dropping the resources over here. So for now, because I don't have that bay set up, I think I'm just going to use this connector just to get some resources over here. And yeah, but other than that, like the whole system is pretty much set up. Pretty much, I don't know, I think we've got like all the kinks worked out, and it's pretty good. Alright, I think we're pretty close to being done here. So I've set up the sorters on the ore mine. And the reason I've put sorters on this thing is so we can keep the ore and the ingots separate. Essentially, what I'm trying to avoid is the mining drones to continue until every inventory space is completely filled, because we don't want that. We don't want to clog up the entire system with ore. So I've got it set up so ore can only go into this container and ingots can only go into this container. And then obviously I've got a sorter up here as well to drain all of the ingots into whatever is connected here. So when the hauling drone comes over and docks, it obviously has free space, so the sorter will just dump everything into it. Unfortunately, there's always going to be some stuff left over, because the sorter dumps everything into the connector, and then only when the connector is full will it start filling up the drone. So once we run out of resources, this stuff will just be stuck in the connector. It won't go into the drone. We would have to have a sorter on the drone to pull the resources. But then I need to find a way to get the resources out of that, because sorters are one way, and that just seems like a big fuck around, to be honest. So, I mean, there's not a great deal of waste here. I mean, we're losing 34,000 iron. To put that into perspective, we're currently sitting on 1.7 million iron in this place. Plus, I think we've got about 800,000 that I've shipped over. So, yeah, 34,000 iron, it's nothing. Okay, I did actually rebuild the mining drone because I wasn't happy with it. Now, the issue I was having is, because this is like such a narrow, well, I mean, it's a fucking massive channel, but when you're trying to set up a mining area, it's actually not very wide. So it resulted in us having mainly just tunnels, like just a few wide, because I couldn't extend past the tunnel wall unless I faced the wall and actually drilled it in. So what I did is I actually built a new mining drone with some drills behind it. So if this thing bumps up against a wall, it can actually mine sideways, and because it's so short, if it's going slow enough, it can actually mine backwards. Because these are elite drills, and it just mines out a little bit more than what this ship is. So if it's backing up into the tunnel wall, it will actually it'll mine out the space it needs, which is really, really handy. To start off with, I did try to turn these around so they were facing the other way, which, you know, obviously that would be more beneficial. But that screwed up Pam. Pam didn't know which direction to mine and was throwing an error. So I have to have all of the drills facing the same direction. Holy shit, that scares me every time it does that. Just fucking drops out of the sky. Yeah, so we're getting pretty close to getting this thing fully operational. The last thing I want to do is set up the trigger to send the hauling drone over here to pick up more ore. And the way we're going to do that is with the cargo fill triggers script, and we're going to have a separate cargo container for each ingot, and we're going to monitor each one. I'm not sure how performant that script is, because we will have to have one for each container, monitoring each one. So, you know, that's upwards of 10. If it sets my computer on fire, obviously we'll find another way to, to trigger it. If all else fails, we can leave it this way, the way I have it set up now, which is this drone will just constantly go back and forth trying to bring ore. And the only time it stops, like it is now, is when it still has ingots that it can't fit into the inventory. Silent, trigger now. Okay, so maxed on means we've got enough. We want to pause the job. So let's look for the programmable block. Oh my god. Okay, new plan. Let's look for Pam. Yeah, Pam controller. We just want to run a command. Send to hauling drone 1 home position. So we'll send that command. That means it'll come home from wherever it is and it will pause its job. God, that annoys me that he reverses up only to turn around when he gets here. Alright, so are you paused? You should be. Job paused. Yep. Mining facility is completely automated now. We've done it. Actually, it's not 100% automated. We're going to get into situations where the mining drone finishes its job and it doesn't mine anymore. Yeah, job done. Top left-hand corner of the screen. So it's finished its job that I marked out. And now it's just sitting there and I need to set up another one. And honestly, this is the only thing I don't like about the mining drones is setting up the jobs. It's actually like really, I don't know, it's really tedious. Now it's not perfect. He is still going to bang into stuff, but he should be going slow enough that it won't do any damage and he'll be able to mine what's behind him. So he'll be able to keep going backwards as far as he needs to. Sideways movement is the only thing I'm worried about because he does not do that slow. He goes sideways very quickly. Are you full already? Yeah, he's got 354,000 iron. Why did the thrusters just turn off? We out of fuel. Yeah, here comes the refueling drone. Man, this is so cool. So because this guy took all the fuel, that sent a message to the refueling drone to come give us more fuel. I love it. It's so cool. If only the mining drones were, I don't know. I wish we could set up like just a massive area for the drone to mine. Like I'd love to just encompass like this entire thing and then have him go through it smartly, you know, like I don't know. I wish he was a little bit more clever. Instead of just systematically mining out an entire area, I wish he sort of sensed that there was where the iron was and just went around and mined all of that. That would be so cool. Because in that way, it would be more of a set and forget type thing. The last thing I want to do in this episode is just pretty up the drones so they're not so bare bones. Give them a bit of character. Bit of a shape and yeah. And I'm not going to bother you guys with that. I will just show you the end result.